Which immune cell am I? Let's find out. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a video that I have been really excited to do, a little bit apprehensive, and you'll see why in a minute. But first of all, I need to thank the lovely people at Tandem who have sponsored this video, because this video is all about Immune, let's hold it the right way up, by Philip Detmer. So massive thank you to Tandem for including me on their first ever YouTube read-along, and also to Hodder and Staunton, who published the book, who sent me this gorgeous hardback copy. I am fully obsessed with this whole cover, with the end pages, with the illustrations that are all the way through. I will link my January reading wrap-up where you will see my full thoughts having finished Immune. I will also link the announcement video as well, so that you can see what I've been talking about. But basically, there've been a whole bunch of us reading this book over, I think, about 13 days in January. And it's, as it says here, it says a journey into the mysterious system that keeps you alive. And it's been really fascinating. As you can probably hear from my voice, whilst reading this book, I got flu. And so it was super weird, but also super interesting to be reading this book whilst my immune system was like firing up and doing what it needs to do. I mean, obviously your immune system, as I have learned from this book, is working all the time, but my immune system was working extra hard in January as it was trying to get rid of this horrible flu, cough, cold thing that I've had. So apologies in advance, my voice is still a little bit sore, and I may have to cough several times through this video, but I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with this book. I've learned absolutely loads, and Tandem have set 5 creative challenges, which is why I'm a little bit nervous. One of the challenges I am going to skip, and I'll explain why when I get to it. Let's put this down for a second because this is a heavy hardback. But they've sent 5 challenges. I will link the challenges in the description because I think they're really fun and you guys might enjoy them, along with everyone else who's taking part in the read along, and all the links and all the stuff that you need. So there are 5 of them. I've got my laptop screen up here. If you guys have watched content from me before, you know that I am completely technically inept. So Tandem asked us to screen record. I have spent literally the last like 2 hours trying to work out how to do it, and I can't. So we're gonna do it this way, and then, like I said, I will link you to the other people who are taking part, who I'm sure will do a far more professional job of this. But let's go through this together. Like I said, I will put all the links in the description so you can see what I'm looking at. So, creative challenge number 1. Which immune cell are you? Are you a T cell, or are you more of a macrophage? I don't know how to say the words. And then they've left us a link, so take the quiz below to find out. So, it's like a multiple choice thing. So, I'll read you the questions and then the options, and then we'll see what I get at the end. I think there's 8 questions. Okay, question number 1. On a team, what role do you usually play? I do lots of research so we can reach our goals. No. I'm flexible, do whatever is most needed, maybe. I work on details with unparalleled focus. I'm pretty focused on details. I produce tools to help us achieve our goals, probably not. I facilitate the team, personally ensuring our success. I would say either details or facilitating. I'm going to go with facilitating. Let's go with that. Okay, question number 2. My friends would describe me as passionate, creative, multifaceted, a problem solver, a leader. Passionate, maybe. Creative, I'm really not creative, as you'll find out in a minute. Multifaceted, possibly. Problem solver, maybe. Leader, I think probably leader. I get described as the mum friend quite a lot, and I think that's kind of a leadery thing. Okay, number 3. What type of traveller are you? I wish I could be travelling more, mostly, is what type of traveller I am. I have a long list of, I have a long list of places I want to go, and I'm diligently checking them off. I prefer to see many places, not spend a ton of time in each place, okay? There's always 1 or 2 things I have to see or do no matter what. If I don't, I might get a bit cross. That's not me. I like to book my itinerary with as many things as possible. My trips are more of a whirlwind. No, I'm more about chilling out when I'm on a trip. Or number 4, I make a record of everything I see and do, whether through social media, a journal, or regular emails, so others can experience the trip with me as much as possible. That's quite a likely one. Or I am the planner of the group when I travel. I'm definitely the planner. Definitely the planner. Okay, next one. When faced with conflict, what is your go-to response? Hide under the table. Let's see if that's an option. Get others' opinions first so you can feel confident in how you decide to proceed. No. Implement a multi-pronged comprehensive solution. Possibly. Face it with cool efficiency. No, I usually cry if there's conflict. That's the dishwasher, sorry about that. Keep the big picture in mind, as focusing on small details can distract from diffusing the problem. Maybe. Gather as much information as you can to decide on how to proceed. I think it's that last one. Much information as you can. Okay, next. What activity is a must do on weekends? Checking the news I missed during the week. No, I avoid the news actively. I always think that if something important happens, someone will tell me, but I just get depressed if I consume too much news because the world is horrible. Working on my hobbies and passions. Possibly. Trying new recipes. I love cooking. Organising my home, usually leading to donations and recycling. Wow, I feel seen. Checking in with friends or family. Oh, it could be any of those last four, but organising my home was the one that jumped out. Okay, which career most appeals to you? Politician? Absolutely not. Flight attendant? No, I hate flying. Archaeologist? That could be really interesting. My brother does that for a job and I think it's fascinating. Artist? Absolutely no chance. I am not arty. Engineer? No, too technical for me. I think we're going to go with archaeologist. Okay, which trait is most important to you? Confidence, resourcefulness, passion, adaptability, or intelligence? I would always go with kindness is the trait that's most important to me personally. But of these, confidence, is this like in myself? I guess so. Resourcefulness, passion, adaptability, intelligence. I would say resourcefulness. Okay, and then I think this is the last one. What do you bring to the party? Myself! That's in capital letters. What more could they want? All the gossip. Games which you teach everyone to play, photos from my last trip, food or drinks, got to keep up everyone's energy levels, food and drink for sure. That's definitely what I'm bringing to the party. Okay, now it's calculating. Okay, oh no, I got the one I can't pronounce. I am a macrophage, maybe. Like the captain of the immune system, you are a born leader. While you excel at coordinating others, it will never be from afar. You're down in the trenches with your friends or team, experiencing all the nitty-gritty along with them. You also ensure that yours and others' talents are fully utilised, so no resource goes to waste. Finally, you see things through to the end, whether it be a project, a relationship, or otherwise, taking responsibility for where mistakes may have been made, so reconciliation is possible. That's actually pretty accurate, I think. Let's see if I can find a picture of one of the things on the screen so that you can get an idea. And then we're going to do the second question, the second challenge, which I really like. Yeah, it's one of these orange guys. That's it there. That's me as an immune cell. And yeah. Told you I'd cough. I think that's pretty accurate. That was fun. Okay, what is the second one? Creative challenge number 2. Okay, I like this one. What are your 3... Okay, so it says, white wiener antigens are a dish best served using an MHC class 2 molecule. And if you want to know the technical stuff about that, you'll need to read the book. What are your 3 dinner party facts from Immune? Okay, so I learnt so many bits and pieces when I was reading this book. I really should have tabbed it as I was going. However, I have flipped back through and I've pulled out 3 things. So from chapter 10, which is I'm going to go for page 71. Let's find the page. 71, there we go. So this one, the title of the chapter is How Do Cells Know Where to Go? Because we're already kind of a little way into the book, quarter of the way into the book. This is from chapter 10. And we've already learned about what cells are, what's in the immune system, and then how do cells know where to go? And I've never thought about it. There was loads of stuff in this book that I just never really thought about. But I really like this fact because this tells you how cells know where to go. And also we've got this really great illustration. Honestly, the illustrations in this made it so much fun to read. Basically, the short answer is, I'm going to read you a little bit from here in a second. They smell their way. They're covered in like noses, I think is how it's described in here. But that absolutely blew my mind because they basically smell when there's trouble basically inside your system. So it says here, the closer to the origin of the source of a smell a cell is, the more cytokines it will pick up. I apologise in advance if I'm saying these words wrong. By measuring the concentration of cytokines in the space around it, it can precisely locate where the message is coming from and then begin moving in that direction. It's sort of smelling where the smell is most intense, which will lead it to the site of battle. To do this, your immune cells don't have a single nose. They have millions of them all over their bodies, covering their membranes in every direction. Why so many? For 2 reasons. First, by being covered in noses, cells have a 360-degree smell system. They can pretty precisely tell from which direction a cytokine is coming from. These noses are so sensitive that for some cells, as little a concentration difference as a 1% in the cytokine signals around a cell is enough to tell it where to go. And then it kind of goes on a bit more. But yeah, I just found it really fascinating that your cells navigate by scent. So yeah, that's my first like dinner party fact. I will definitely be bringing that out next time I'm with my friends. And then the second fact was from page 104. So let's skip forward a little bit. This is from chapter 16, which is called The Largest Library in the Universe. And I know I'm being so stereotypical that I loved this particular chapter, being a massive book nerd and an English teacher. But I really liked this. I'd never thought about it. And it poses that question of how do your cells know how can your cells adapt so quickly to new disease? And this is what it says. So, where are we? The answer is simple as it is baffling. The immune system does not so much adapt to new invaders as it already was adapted before when you were born. It comes pre-installed with hundreds of millions of different immune cells, a few for every possible threat that you could possibly encounter in this universe. Right now, this is the thing that blows my mind, you have at least one cell inside you that is a specific weapon against the Black Death, any variant of the flu, the coronavirus, and the first pathogenic bacteria that will emerge in a city on Mars in 100 years. You are ready for every possible microorganism in this universe. And that, like, I literally felt my brain just go, what? As I was reading that. So it's the idea that you come pre-loaded, basically, with everything that you might need to face any possible microorganism in the universe is just, like, one of the things I definitely came away from with this book is this feeling of like the human body is incredible. So yeah, that's definitely my second one. And then my third one, this is quite a personal one to me because this is about stress and the immune system. So this is from the chapter called Stress and the Immune System, chapter 43. And it's talking about the effect of long-term stress on the body. Now, I've mentioned this probably in every video I've made over the last 2 years, but I'm an English teacher. It's a very, very stressful job, and it is long periods of intense stress. And I found this really interesting because also I'm poorly all the time from September to about April. And I do all the things that I should do. I eat a balanced diet, I drink lots of water, I take vitamin C tablets, I take multivitamins, I take vitamin D through the winter months, because I found that really helps with any kind of seasonal depression that I might be feeling. So I do all the stuff that I should do. I'm also, constantly using anti-bac at school. We don't wear face masks anymore because they're no longer required by the government, but they definitely did work because I was never this ill whilst we were wearing face masks. I try and, if there's kids that I know are sick in the room, I try and stay away from them. I keep windows open to get lots of airflow through. I use anti-bac wipes and all of that stuff on like my desk and door handles and the kids' desks and all that kind of thing. And I still get really, really poorly all the time from, like I said, from like September to April. So I found this super interesting because it's talking about chronic stress, which is what my body experiences whilst I'm teaching. So it says, sorry, and this is a slightly longer chunk that I just want to read because I read it and I was like, yeah. In general, chronic stress seems to disrupt the ability of the body to shut down inflammation and causes chronic inflammation. And as we discussed before, chronic inflammation has been linked to higher risk for numerous diseases, from cancer to diabetes, heart and autoimmune diseases, and also a general frailty and higher chance of death. Chronic stress changes the behaviour of your helper T, which is not great since they are particularly important conductors and influence a number of other immune responses. This can lead your helper T into making the wrong decisions, which can throw your immune response out of balance. Stress also releases hormones like cortisol that shut down and suppress your immune system, making it weaker and less able to do its job properly in a variety of ways. Wounds heal slower, infections are more likely to break out and to cause disease. Already present pathogens or diseases can no longer be held in check efficiently, leading to an outbreak of herpes, for example, or in more serious cases, to a much faster progression of HIV. Chronic stress means a chronic release of cortisol, which generally slows your defense systems down. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, I know that. Well, I didn't know that, but now I know that. And then it's just this last bit of the chapter says, so if you're still looking for ways to boost your immune system, as an actual tangible thing that you can start doing today is to try eliminate stresses in your life and take care of your mental health. This may seem like pretty daft advice because it's so obvious, but the connection between your state of mind and your health is very real. So helping people live happy and fulfilled lives with less stress and depression would probably have considerable health benefits for our societies. And that's one of the things that I have thought about before. Obviously, the connection between mental health and physical health is already something that I am aware of and knew, but kind of having it written down and explained to you scientifically, I found really helpful. And so of the facts that I've taken from this was definitely my favourite. So those are my 3 dinner party facts. Creative challenge number 3, I'm skipping, and the lovely people at Immune did say that we didn't have to do all of the challenges because this is a drawing challenge and I can't draw at all. I'm hoping one of the others that are doing the read along will do the challenge to show you, but I'll read it to you. Like I said, I'll leave it linked, so if you want to have a go you can. So it says, proteins can have countless different shapes which you can imagine as 3D puzzle pieces. Think of antigens as meals, proteins as ingredients, and something the workers who put the meals together based on the customer's request. Detmer uses so many metaphors that help you to picture the inner workings of your immune system. He really does. It's really helpful. Create a time-lapse drawing of one of the metaphors from Immune, or create your own and walk us through it. Yeah, I can't do that. So we're going to skip that one. Okay, challenge number 4. Who is Immune the perfect gift for? So who in your life would appreciate the gift of Immune and learning more about their immune system? So I'm going to mention Charlotte at Books and Bargains, who is one of my best friends and also a wonderful, wonderful booktuber. I think she would be really interested in this. She has a chronic health condition, and I think that she might find this interesting because she also used to work in the NHS. So I think I think the nerdy science part of her brain would really enjoy this. But also as someone who is currently dealing with chronic health stuff, I think she would also find it quite interesting. I would also suggest it to my brother, Ben, who also lives with chronic illness, and he's as I mentioned, he's an archaeologist, and I feel like the science nerd part of him would also find this interesting. And then the third person is actually my son Charlie, who's 13. And this is the first thing I have ever done on my channel that he's been properly in awe of. When he saw, I mentioned that I was working with Tandem on a science book. And then when he saw that it was this one and that it was Philip Detmer and Kyrgyzstan, his eyes were huge. He was like, oh my goodness, that's so cool, because he follows the channel and watches the videos. So he is going to have this book once I've finished with it for this read along, and he's very excited to read it. So he's big into science. Science is one of his favorite subjects, and so I feel like he'll get loads out of this. Plus I think I scored some parent points because of reading this book, so that was pretty nice. So thank you again to Tandem for that. Okay, and then the final one is to check out the Kyrgyzstan YouTube channel. And it said to film your reaction to your choice of a Kyrgyzstan video and tell us which topic Philip should write his next book on. So again, like I said, I've tried to work out the screen record. I can't do it, I'm sorry. However, I will obviously link Kyrgyzstan, and I hope I'm saying that right, in the description. They have got 20 million followers. It's an absolutely massive YouTube channel. I've watched the channel trailer, which I really, really like. I feel like it sums it up really well. And I'll also leave a list, the playlist, they've got playlists on their channel. Why can't I do words today? So I leave that linked in the description because they have 9 playlists, which are listed as the Existential Crisis playlist, Human Stuff, Medicine and Biology, Our Best Stuff, Futurism, the Universe and Space Stuff, and Science and Other Stuff Explained. So all of these look so good. Like I said, I can't screen record me watching a video because I am inept when it comes to technology, but I will leave that linked in the description. It looks like it's an awesome channel. Like I said, my son Charlie's a huge fan, and it's got 20 million subscribers, so you know there's obviously something going on there. And yes, that is the end of the challenges. So like I said, again, massive thanks to Tandem firstly for sponsoring these 3 videos. I will leave my announcement video, the live show that I did, which was so much fun, and although I was very poorly during it, so I apologise. I said in that video that I was going to go to work the next day, and then I ended up being off sick for 7 days. As you can hear, still not doing great. So links in the description will be everything you need to know, everyone else that's involved, all of that good stuff. Massive thanks to Tandem for involving me in this. I absolutely loved that it was the first one that they've done on YouTube. Hopefully they'll do loads more because it's been really fun. And I learned a whole bunch of interesting facts that I will be taking with me and giving to other people as I go through my days. So if you made it to this point in the video, leave me a germ emoji, something like sciencey. I'm gonna cough again, just so I know that you got to this point in the video. Please subscribe if you would like more of this chaos, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks everyone, bye.